Hello, everyone. We are back again. Great to be here with you, Big B and Double K. Choo Choo Stew scheduled to appear from London, England. We'll see what happens. Big B is going to talk to you while I share the shit out of this thing for a minute and try and get some people watching before we actually go live. Did I start the clock?
You did not start the clock.
Did not start the countdown clock.
The show will start in 0 minutes and 10 minutes. There you go. 10 minutes. Here we go.
There we go.
Chris Ripka is first to join the chat. Oh, my goodness. I haven't talked to Chris Ripka in a long time.
His cryptic messages. We got to get him back on the show.
I would love to get Chris, but I love Chris. I haven't talked to Chris in a long time. We have to get together. I want to go back on Raw and Real.
I don't know if that's around him. He's been so cryptic lately. I don't know what to make of his messages. I'm like going to follow him like a James Jones type of thing.
I don't know. I actually haven't seen him do any show unless I missed the announcements on Facebook. I haven't seen him do any shows lately. So if you're still doing Raw and Real, Chris, I would like to come on, or whatever show you're doing. I would like to come on and bullshit with you and hang out and talk. It would be a lot of fun. I always have fun with Chris. But anyway, this is the first show of November. We just passed Halloween. It was a different Halloween of sorts because of the Rona.
Yes.
But as things change, some things stay the same. So this year, a lot of people, including myself, Mrs. B, put out buckets of candy outside, so kids can come and take, and we don't have to have interactions with them. I wouldn't even bother with the bucket, but my wife wants to indulge the children.
He wants to include them in this thing we're going through.
Right. I personally could care less. So she put out a big giant. We have a giant bucket, like an ice bucket. For the summer, you put all the beers in and all that. So we have a giant bucket that we fill with candy and put outside. And many other houses did that this year because of the Rona. So there's no physical interactions. You come and take what you want. It's kind of the honor system. Now,
right.
The problem
that's very dangerous in today's world.
Right. The problem with the honor system is that there's nobody actually watching. So what was happening, and this happens because every year there are a certain group of houses that will just leave buckets out, whether they don't want to be bothered or they're busy or at work, whatever. They'll just put out buckets for kids so they can come and take candy and leave. There's always a certain few teenagers that go around, and wherever there's a bucket, they take the entire bucket. They put it all in their bag and go on to the next house, the next place they find that just has a bucket left alone, and take the entire contents of that bucket. So they were doing this year, apparently, and my wife had saw them. I don't know if she said anything to them. I don't even know how close they were. But
I can see Mrs. B dressed as a Sith, as she was at the school, running with her lightsaber,
right,
chasing away those varmints.
Right. Yes. Well, she was dressed as the Sith this year, taking our little one around trick or treating. But apparently I went up. I was home. I went and got my older son and just told him to go sit outside for a little while and just watch the bucket, not knowing that the teenagers were stealing the candy. It just was coincidence that as I did that, I see my wife post a Facebook post saying about how awful it was that kids are stealing, blah, blah, blah. So my wife apparently immediately turned around, came home, took the entire contents of our bucket, and was going around like Robin Hood style, I guess, handing out candy to the kids as you walk down the street.
The Robin Hood Goblin. I love it. Write that down. There might not be anything left at the end of the show. The Robin Hood Goblin is running around with mini Snickers, Kit Kats, and Skittles. And instead of these greedy teenagers emptying the bucket like a teenager would do because they're probably having marijuana munchies. She's running around like Robin Hood, dressed like a Sith from Star Wars.
Yes.
This is beautiful. For fuck's sakes, next year you got to get her a Robin Hood costume. You got to get her the tights. You even got to get her the fox mask. And maybe they'll pick her up on Disney. She's running around like Robin Hood, desperately handing candy to the kids. How did the parents of these children react to this fucking fiasco?
I have no idea. I wasn't there. Again, I could care less.
I know you could, but I'd be running behind. If it was Isbia doing that in our neighborhood, I'd be running behind with my GoPro on my cap and
Well, I didn't know
Robin Hood of Halloween, the Robin Hood of Queens.
I didn't know she did this. So while all this was going on, I was down here in the studio, and as you know, I'm building my Plex media server. So as I'm down here doing some work on my server, and I hear that you know how it is with dogs. Whenever somebody comes in the house or rings the bell, whatever, dogs go crazy. So I hear all this ruckus going on upstairs with the dogs. So I'm still doing stuff on the server. I wait a little while. Once things quiet down, I go upstairs. I see the bucket sitting on the dining room table now, and I hear my older son screaming his full head off on Xbox. So I go up and he says, "Yeah, mommy came by and took the candy and left with James and his friend, his little friend Walter." I said, "Okay."
Yeah, James and Walter in tow. So
Yes.
here's Mrs. B with her arm through the jack-o'-lantern, with all the treats inside, with Walter and James in tow, and running around like a mad woman, handing out candy to the ones that justly deserve it.
Yes.
Is a great story during a dark year of COVID. This is a story that brings light to the world.
Yes. This was how we ended October.
Mrs. Hood, I shall call her.
Mrs. Hood.
Mrs. Hood. What I was not expecting a story like that on the pre-show. This should have been saved for the live show.
Well, I'll tell you, coming up on the live show, there's plenty of going on the live show. I have a special announcement that is going to be made. This is our special 250th episode. This is an extra special episode to begin with, and we may have Stu. I don't think there's time for a Halloween anecdote.
I guess. And I've got some great stories, and I'm giving away swag tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Swag.
You may have to answer a trivia question. They'll be very easy. I don't know what it's going to be, but in about 2 minutes, we're giving away swag. Cave Crew Radio masks, Cave Crew Radio t-shirts, the book of Big B. We've got authentic copies available, and we're going to be sending them to you. We may even have a authentic collectible Royal Dalton Choo Choo Stew collectible mug. Who the fuck knows?
Oh my goodness. This is turning out to be one hell of an episode.
Can you believe we've done 250 shows? And today I was chatting with Choo Choo Stew, and he told me about a relative I never heard of.
Oh no.
Cousin Ralph, the truck driver, who's banged women all across Europe. We have never heard of that, I'm sure.
I'm writing this down. Cousin Ralph, the truck driver,
who's banged women all across Europe. And if he does show up, hopefully he will tell us. We are a minute and a half away from going live, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 250. My name is DK. We're kicking off the show with a big announcement from Big B. And the only clue I can give you is we're in such a calamity, we're in such a catastrophe with this election in the United States. I don't think any of us, no matter how old or how young you are, have witnessed anything so bizarre.
Nothing, not in my lifetime. This is the strangest thing ever.
We have a solution. And maybe, just maybe, if you're all really good, and just stick around, Choo Choo Stew may show up. It doesn't matter what episode it is if Choo Choo Stew shows up.
It's going to be good.
All right, so I was told I have to hide Big B's camera here. There's a lot of
30 seconds away.
behind the screen things that are going to happen in about 30 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. Cave Crew Radio episode 250 is about to come your way. Oh, look at that. I was in such a hurry, I put a comma after dubba. It is not a comma, folks. It's a dot. Just imagine my pen kind of went astray a little bit. There we go. I've got to hide you for your big announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are about to kick off episode 250. Here we go.
This is a production of the Cave Crew Radio Network at cavecrewradio.com.
From the center of the universe and around the world. Available on demand wherever podcasts are found. From Ontario, Canada, DK. From Queens, New York, the Big B. And from London, England, Choo Choo Stew. Live broadcast every week on Facebook, YouTube, and at cavecrewradio.com.
There was a time when the world turned their back on men. Men with a dream and savage yearning within them. Legions compelled by passion that knows no boundary. A consuming flame that defies plausible explanation. Battling the forces of domestication, they find the courage to band together to experience the awesome power of being men.
I mean, we got to start to do that. Yes, we want to get into, I say this with all due respect.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Tonight's broadcast of The Masculine Feminist has been commandeered by the secret society No Man.
Gotta go to a place like a shot and a beer, steak, man. Saying we can stop, get pancakes, and then we'll get laid, all right?
Why do you drink ice cold beer on a hot day?
Mr. Clement, what else are you gonna do with it?
To alcohol, the cause of and solution to all of life's problems.
The Yankees are champions of baseball! It's a hard one goal!
This is Cave Crew Radio.
Indeed it is, ladies and gentlemen. Cave Crew Radio is the name of the show. My name is DK, and I am live from my cave in Windsor, Ontario, Canada. And this is a very special show we have for you tonight. It is episode 250. For 250 episodes over the past 6 and somewhat seasons, we have been coming to you every Wednesday, Thursday, or now it's Friday nights. We are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube at Cave Crew TV. And of course, we are always live on cavecrewradio.com. Our podcasts are available wherever podcasts are found. So here's what's going down tonight, ladies and gentlemen. You'll notice I'm sitting here all by myself. That's because we have a very special announcement coming up. Now, before I get to that announcement, I do want to let you know that it would be a wise idea for you to like this video, whatever format you're on, for you to share this video, whatever format you're on. We may even have Choo Choo Stew show up at some point in the show tonight. But guaranteed there's something going to happen. We are going to give away some swag. Some Cave Crew Radio masks to keep you safe during the COVID-19, some t-shirts, and some other special things that I don't want to give away just yet. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as you probably know, there's been a lot of chaos going on the other side of the border. The other side of the border, to me, which is the USA. The election has been a calamity. It's been full of conflict. It's been full of drama. We are now, I believe, 3 or 4 days into it. We still have not declared a winner. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I do believe we have a solution that tonight. I would like to bring in my cohort from Queens, New York. Always the epicenter of something. Big B, take it away.
My fellow Americans, these past few days have been a reflection of life for all of us over the last 4 years. Happiness, sadness, fear and anger consuming us as a country. As the rest of the world watches, we inch closer to a civil war. Still looked at as the leader of the free world, we are on the brink of destruction. Not from an outside enemy, but from within. As the vote count continues, no matter who wins, the other side will challenge. There will be recounts and lawsuits. We will not have a true determined winner for weeks or months to come. These are unprecedented times, which calls for an unprecedented solution. That is why, on this day, November 6th, 2020, I, Sir Big B, the Duke of P, and ruler of Urine Stench Alley, knighted by the Queen Elizabeth, declare myself as President of the United States of America. I will bring new leadership to a country that is in desperate need of a leader that is one of their own. I'll bring the values that made Stenchlandia the greatest island nation in the world. As the leader of the free world, the cabinet will be comprised of the greatest international minds the world has to offer. This group will provide a light at the end of the tunnel and help lead this country into the future. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And now, may I introduce the members of my cabinet, beginning with my Vice President, Choo Choo Stu. The Secretary of Defense, and I'm combining two departments as they serve the same purpose. The Secretary of Defense and the Secretary of Homeland Security will be our own military man, Mike Jolitz. The Secretary of State can only be one person. That is a man that could handle 1,000 voices and can communicate with everybody around the world, our pal, Matt Vanderpool. The Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, when I was deciding on who this should be, only one man came to mind. That is a man we met years ago looking for a home for Syrian refugees. So our Secretary of Housing and Urban Development is Bill from Vancouver.
Bill, yes. He's Calgary, by the way.
Calgary, I'm sorry. Our Secretary of Commerce, again, only one person would come to mind. Who is the most frugal person and will save a penny wherever they can by not going shopping? Only Jason Scott could be our Secretary of Commerce. Our Secretary of Labor, who knows more hard work? Who knows about hard work more than the Amish people? Hands, no electricity. They do everything by hand. Our new Secretary of Labor, ladies and gentlemen, is Raymond the Amish comic. Our Secretary of Agriculture. Now, when I was thinking of agriculture, of course, the first thing that came to mind was the allotment. And being that Choo Choo Stu will be in a very high position as my vice president, the only person that could serve as the Secretary of Agriculture is One Tooth Jim.
Oh, One Tooth Jim, yes.
One Tooth Jim. Our Secretary of Transportation. Now, who is a well-traveled person? Who is a person that extended their phone to talk with a Swede?
Oh,
only one person. Eric the Swede.
Eric the Swede, yes.
He is our Secretary of Transportation. Our Secretary of Health and Human Services. I thought about this long and hard. Who have we come across that could embody this? And there was only one person when we were making phone calls several months ago to various organizations that were shut down by COVID. One person stood out, and that was Christina Martinez from Dickey's Barbecue. She embodies
Christina Martinez.
She embodies the health and human services that this country so sorely needs. Our Secretary of the Interior. I had no idea where I was
We
going
have
to go
a
with this.
really heavy fucking cabinet here.
Well, this is all the positions of the United States cabinet.
All right.
Our
That must be a problem in the first place.
Our Secretary of Interior. Now, the Secretary of Interior takes all the natural resources, oversees all the natural resources, and looks after the natural aspect of the country, nature, fossil fuels, the animals. Only one person I knew from the Cave Crew world that worked with animals is Amanda DeRose. If I pronounce her name correctly, but she works with animals, so she is the Secretary of the Interior.
I was thinking of Greta.
No.
Okay.
Our Secretary of Education. I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel now, but I think that's okay. Our Secretary of Education, who has the airwaves to him every Saturday, is our pal Eric Drakes.
Oh, nice. Yes.
Our Secretary of Energy is I needed to find a position for him just because he annoys you on a weekly basis when he shows up. Our Secretary of Energy is going to be Scotty, the producer.
Oh my God, we're doomed. Fracking will be everywhere.
And ladies and gentlemen, to round out the cabinet, the only person that could be the face of this administration, the person that will be talking to the media on a daily basis, the press secretary of this administration is the one, the only, DK.
As we proclaim our victory, Big B, our biggest secret of all. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, I am a Canadian, and I know a lot of you want to move here, but we are about to fix everything. Everything that's broken to the right and everything that's broken to the left is about to be polished and fixed. We can no longer waste money on all these lawsuits and mystery votes that are popping out of nowhere. Someone needs to step up. Someone needs to proclaim himself, and that man is Sir Big B. As he mentioned earlier, he was knighted by the Queen of England. He is known as Sir Big B, the Duke of P, the commander of Uranstencheli, and when Stenchlandia was discovered as a missing continent, he was the ruler that stood. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, we actually make America greater again. You're either with us or you're against us. If you oppose us, we're going to put you into jail. We're going to take you away to internment camps, and you're going to mine in the allotment, the great allotment that is known as the state of Iowa.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I have put together the only way we could solve the problems of this country is to have a truly international cabinet with views from all over the world that could bring everybody together. We have people from the United States. We have people from Canada, people from England, people from Sweden. They are from all walks of life. This, ladies and gentlemen, will be the administration to bring this country to the greatness it so deserves.
This is going to be better than The Masked Singer. What about, I do have a couple of questions as we go on to stake our new claim with greater responsibility.
Sure.
I'm sure Space Force now will be a priority of yours.
Oh, absolutely. We need to be the first to claim areas of space. We will explore Pluto and Uranus in detail.
And now on Uranus, I hope we have to, first of all, set the flag of Choo Choo Stew's face.
Well, that goes without saying. The new flag of conquered nations will be Choo Choo Stew's face.
All right. We are here, ladies and gentlemen. We
Let
have
me fix my tie, excuse me.
Yeah, beautiful tie. completely presidential.
My presidential tie.
It is the most presidential tie I've ever seen. Ladies and gentlemen, the drama is over. Share the video, proclaim it to your friends. Sir Big B. Cave Crew Radio is, hang on, Cave Crew Radio, all Radio X, Radio Haver are all simultaneously proclaiming that Big B has the 270 seats needed to proclaim himself as the President of the United States. He will not step down. He is your president for the next 4 years.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the administration that changes the world.
Yes. And we drink beer. Are you going to tax beer? You've got to get rid of some of these. I know you got to make some money somewhere, but you got to.
Well, I'll tell you, we will still tax beer, but it will be at 10 cents.
10 cents.
We will tax cigarettes, but for you, it will be only 20 cents.
Excellent.
Liquor, again, goes with beer, only 10 cents. Right now, I'm drinking a wonderful creamsicle.
Right. There was a chunk in on the pre-show.
No, that was the old beer.
Oh, the old beer, right? The White Claw.
That's right. So, and let me make this distinction, where the alcohol taxes are actually going are to these drinks like White Claw and Mike's Hard Whatever and Hard Ginger Ale, things like that aren't real alcohol. That's where all the taxes will go.
See, you're investing in the left. You are a guy that sees both sides of the coin.
You have, in order to be the leader of the free nation, you have to understand both the left and the right and have your own ideas.
You look at a woman's vagina and you say, it smells like fish, but it looks like a taco.
And it's her right to do whatever she wants.
This is wonderful, ladies and gentlemen. This is bigger news than I expected on episode 250. You will have to send me the complete list of the cabinet so I can include it in the show notes.
I will, and I will come up with a position for our pal Chris Ripka, who just joined us recently. I will have a position in this administration for him, possibly Secretary of Social Media Relations.
There you go. Great social media guy.
Yes.
Great
so
social.
I think that will be his position in this administration.
Because let's face it, baby, if we didn't take a stand on this tonight, if we didn't proclaim it's over, someone's got to end it. Someone's got to have the balls to stop bitching and complaining. One side saying, it's your president, accept it. Hey, there's your what do you call
Scott Morris is the Secretary of Energy for this administration.
Secretary of Energy, Scott Morris. If you just joined us, Big B has claimed himself as the president of the United States. You are a Secretary of Energy. Everything is over right now. And he promised to not just have dog parks everywhere, but to include kitty cat parks.
That's right.
As well, so the cats can run and play and chase laser beams or whatever the fuck they do. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. It's right there. It's in the book before you. Scotty is happy. He supports us. It is there. Big B is holding it up. It has been witnessed. It has been documented. I don't care what the fake news places are telling you. It's over. It ends tonight.
That's it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the new administration that will lead this country into greatness over the next 4 years.
Right, and he just doesn't have the socialists and the lefts and the communists that support Kamala Harris in her Cuban form. He doesn't just have the rights, the Republicans, the Mitt Romneys, the Donald Trump supporters. He has an international backing that is more powerful, more character than the United Nations.
That's right. Scott needs to be briefed on the positions.
Yeah, I am not Vice President Scotty. I am not worthy. I did not pass the background checks. I'm far too much of a bigot and a character to be vice president, but I am a supporter.
And he is the press secretary. He is the face of this administration. The vice president is Choo Choo Stu.
And Choo Choo Stu, vice president. I welcome everyone to invite me to your podcasts and radio shows and Facebook Lives and TikToks and Instagrams. I would be more than happy to answer questions and to discuss this with you.
From here on in,
however,
from here on in,
to our show, you will make time for the show.
Yes, of course, I will make time for the show. But from here on in, all questions relating to the daily interactions of this administration go through DK, the press secretary.
Right. At Cave Crew Radio at gmail.com. CaveCrewRadio at gmail.com. Yes, I agree, Scotty. Choo Choo Stu is a man of Big B has great ideas. He's focused on the big picture. But Choo Choo Stu is kind of a cross between Nostradamus and Bozo. And he will definitely help Big B in all his future endeavors.
I'm looking forward to the next 4 years. I'm looking forward to a peaceful transition of power as well.
Yes. I think to kick things off in a grand way, we have people on chat in YouTube and Facebook. The first person who puts in chat the name of the new president and address him properly, the new president of the United States, the next person that puts it in chat will get a Cave Crew Radio t-shirt. So we'll wait.
See, Scott is already getting down to business.
We'll get to all that later. Right now, I want to give away a t-shirt. Who is the new president of the United States? Address him properly. And we will send you a Cave Crew Radio t-shirt. I'm so glad. I mean, even as a person who does not live in the United States, where is my t-shirt is not the name of the president of the United States. You're wasting time typing because you've been inhaling freaking gas fumes at the get-go again. For fuck's sakes, all you got to do is tell me who the new president of the United States is, and I'll give you a fucking t-shirt.
Ladies and gentlemen, our lovely press secretary. He is going to do wonders for us
over the next 4 years. An aneurysm. Where was I going with this? But you know what? Even as outsiders, we're watching this. We're like, this is fucking ridiculous. When we have an election, it's over in 24 hours. We are so glad that this has been put together. What the fuck is he doing? He's got a chance to win a t-shirt, and he's egging me on.
This is why he's a member of our cabinet.
You are the weakest link. Good. Anybody. Who is the new president of the United States?
It was just declared 15 minutes ago.
Even. Nobody wants a t-shirt. Well, fuck you guys then. Show. Like it's a simple thing. We got the book out in front of you. We just did this big presentation for our 250th show, and he's advertising a gas station.
See, he just says now he comes in.
Your Eminence of Big B. Scotty, message me on Facebook, and I will get your address, and I will ensure that you receive a Cave Crew Radio 2020 lockdown shirt before they go away. Why did you have to put me through so much fucking grief to give you a t-shirt? You don't have to say, where's my fucking t-shirt? They are for sale, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just for shits and giggles pull this up for you. If you want to buy a t-shirt, all you got to do is click on the link. Again, it seems like they're always on sale for $13. You go to the webpage, you order a t-shirt, we get $1. Big B tax, President B taxes 10 cents. Yippee-yi-yay. There you go. You got yourself a t-shirt.
That's it.
All right. Now that I've nearly blown a fucking fuse, we really do have to have him on the show. I do have one question before we start jumping into other things.
Yes.
There's the book, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. Before we
that is the official proclamation with the members of the cabinet.
There you go. And it will be published in our show notes. I really want to know because last week, or well, 2 weeks ago, I guess it was, we were no, we're not going to pay you shit, Scotty. Do you think anybody would actually pay you to fucking do anything? Anyway, paid posts, he asked me. Oh yeah, I'm gonna pay you by peeing in your pants. Anyway, 2 weeks ago we were talking, I guess it was, and we had Jason Scott ready to present the ring. Right. And then we had Scotty telling us that him and Angie were in the rough. And we don't know who got the cats, who got the dogs, who's living where. We know he's still working at Speedway because he was advertising a few minutes ago. Downtown Pittsburgh at Highway 97 in Concession 4. Love to know about that, Scotty. We need to know what's going on. Anyway, can you turn that fucking shit off now?
Music now.
I feel like I'm on a fucking telethon for
it's 10 hours.
You proclaimed it. I am not listening to that shit for 10 hours. We have conceded. Everyone believes in you. You are the president of the United States. I hope you enjoy it in 30 days.
10 hours of Hail to the Chief.
No, he doesn't. He's going to go to sleep listening to that. Mrs. B is going to have the time of her life tonight. The First Lady. Does she know? As she comes and prepares you another White Russian, does she know that you are the president of the... Did you even slip it to her?
Well, she's sitting right next to me when I read the proclamation.
And how am I going to be able to defend? I'm sure a lot of people weren't on the pre-show that you told me that she was running around with candy playing Robin Hood because the older kids were stealing the open basket candy or whatever it was.
Right.
And now I've got to defend that you are now the president of the United States. You are the face of the nation, the face of the globe for that matter. And she's running around playing Robin Hood in Queens, New York.
This is what you can expect from my administration. We will play Robin Hood with candy and make sure bullies do not take it. And we will give it to those deserving.
Will you bring Coney dogs and free carriage rides in Central Park? Now, will you reside in New York or in Stenchlandia or at the White House? Where will you reside?
Well, I will split my residence between right here in New York City, the epicenter of something every week. Yes. And, of course, Stenchlandia. I will not be heading to Washington, D.C.
So the White House will now become a museum, a haunted mansion, a place where Bill Clinton got a blowjob, where a Nigerian without a citizenship sat for 8 years, where the guy that hosted, what was that show he did? What was Trump's show? Anyway,
The Apprentice.
Yeah, he's in the WrestleMania Hall of Fame. That will now become a ghost town. It will sit empty as a monument of what was.
That's right. We can't look at the past. We must look to the future.
We always have to move forward. I am so excited about this. Choo Choo Stu does not even know. Hopefully he shows up in a little while. You need another drink.
I do need another drink.
Is your fair lady Or is she running around the neighborhood handing out napkins or something?
No, she's sitting right next to me reading a Dave Mustaine book.
Excellent. Tell her we just won the election. Relax. Put the Audible down. Let's make drinks.
Well, she's not done with her drink yet, so I have to wait.
Anyway, while you're waiting, I brought in this new audio. It's not going to fit so much this week, but I think you're really going to like this one. Here is the new thing when I need to go to the news stories and I can't get you off a tangent. Ready?
Go ahead.
Stop where you are, Big B. It's time for the news. From around the globe, we have searched for the strangest news and headlines on the planet. The weirdest, most bizarre, completely unbelievable, and absurd. Gather around, cave dwellers. It's time for This Week in Weird News. And now to our news desk. Take it away, DK.
Thank you, mystery announcer. See, so it hasn't happened yet because you're in a moment of bliss.
Right.
You're in a moment of happiness. Nothing's gonna rock your world. But eventually something's going to come along and you're going to rant and you're going to rave until the 45-minute point of the show. And I needed a stinger to nail it down. It's time for a segue.
There you go. I like it.
And we've given away a shirt. I want to give away more soon. But I want to at least do a news story. All right, headline reads. As we're anxiously awaiting our new vice president, if he's going to be late like this for everything, I don't know what's going to happen. Take a look at this picture here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can imagine anything. Headline reads, Rooster kills police officer in COVID-19 lockdown raid. Yeah, it's true. The Philippine lieutenant was slashed by a razor-sharp spur attached to the bird's leg during a raid on an illegal cockfighting den. This is coming to us from Manila. A police officer in the Philippines was killed a week after a fighting rooster slashed him during a raid on an illegal cockfighting den. The officer, Lieutenant Christian Bullock, 38, was part of a team that descended on an arena in the province of Northern Samar on Monday, after it was suspecting of violating lockdown rules against mass gatherings. There was a commotion. The spectators scampered away, and when the dust cleared, Officer Bullock tried to pick up one of the birds, but he didn't notice that it still had a bladed spur on. The provincial police chief, Colonel Arnold Oppid, said, fighting roosters typically have, this is interesting, BB, fighting roosters typically have a razor-sharp steel blade called a gaff attached to their legs. And the bird Lieutenant Bullock grabbed slashed him with one. He was wounded in his femoral artery on the left leg and lost a lot of blood. Colonel Oppid continued. Within minutes, he died. It was a freak accident. The officer was an 11-year veteran of the force and a father of 3. As countries enter the second and third waves of the virus, the authorities have struggled to enforce the lockdown and social distancing rules. In New York, recent super spreader events, a wedding and a party, have led to an infection of 56 people and nearly 300 others broke the coronavirus restrictions. In the Philippines, which has a confirmed 375,180 cases of the virus and 7,000 deaths. Cockfighting is an ancient sport. It has become wildly popular in the country, when the Spanish ruled the islands more than 3 centuries before ceding them to the United States in 1898. There you go, Big B. Death by cockfighting.
And I'm not surprised. They train those animals, or however they do it, to be very, very vicious. Those fucking roosters will fucking kill you.
Have you ever? I need to watch a YouTube video. I've never seen this. I've heard of like dog fighting, you know, the illegal, the Michael Vick thing and all that we covered years ago. And but I've heard of this. I guess you cannot, and I don't know, I'm not a farmer, but you cannot have 2 roosters in the same hen house or whatever you want to call it.
Right. Yeah. They're very dominant animals. So there can only be one, and yet they will fight to the death. And what these people do, I guess, is starve them a little bit, and you know, like they said, they'll put razor blades on their little feet, and you know, just whoever wins, you know, whoever lives is the winner.
I didn't know they put gaffs on them though. I guess that's to add a quicker finish, right?
Right. I mean, this is a high money gambling thing that goes on, obviously illegally, but there's a lot of money that changes hands in these little cockfighting arenas. So yeah, they'll put little things on their feet, and you know, to end it quickly, because there's not just one event. There's more than one cockfight.
It's kind of like a WrestleMania type of thing.
Right. Yes. It's just like a WrestleMania.
Now, and I'm sure you've been to horse races and stuff like that. They have the odds of, I'm sure they have the odds of the rooster then. So many victories. Here comes a rookie.
I guess. I don't know the intimate details of it.
I would love to learn about this sport. I'm fascinated by it. And like, is there a limit? Is there an illegal gaff that, you know, if a rooster wins, perhaps is he disqualified because of you know, the curve on the gaff is too much, or the edge on the gaff is too sharp, and so the people that bet on the poor rooster that's never going to fight again, do they win the pot this way?
So you're asking if an illegal activity follows a certain set of standards.
Right.
I don't think so.
So what you're telling me is the first rule of Fight Club is cockfighting Fight Club is there's no rules.
I would assume.
So if your cock has a strong enough right leg that you can mount a fucking machete on there, it's all like, so what, like do they have like helmets on their head? Like, is there any
you can see it right there. The two
I can't
fucking
really see it. Hang on.
in here, they don't have helmets. They're just they're fighting.
They're flying frantically at each other. The one
Right.
a fucking parrot, like.
Right, they're ready to kill each other, and you see that this dude sitting in the front with the red shirt draped over his shoulder.
Right.
It looks like, I guess, he's adding the blade to the foot.
Oh, perhaps. Okay, I thought he was maybe like calculating the odds.
No, it looks like he's like adding something to the foot of the next combatant, because you see there's another one in the background over there.
Oh yes. Now, what is holding that one from entering the, you know, being an illegal participant in the match?
I don't know. Much like WrestleMania, there could be a run-in. I don't know.
Oh my God, Jason Scott is demanding there is no recount in our presidency.
Maybe Jason Scott didn't realize that he is a member of the cabinet. Jason, you are the Secretary of Commerce.
Yeah,
in my administration.
You're tighter than a virgin's vagina.
This man knows how to
rather have running the commerce of the United States.
That's right. Jason Scott knows the value of a dollar, and Amanda's here. Amanda is the Secretary of the Interior. She is responsible for all of nature, the animals, the forests, the everything having to do with fossil fuels and all that.
What was she thinking about this shit we're talking about right now with these two fucking birds with gaps?
She would be against it. She would be
shut it down.
Absolutely, she would shut it down. It would be she would bring it to this administration, and we would issue sanctions against this country.
And here's another one. These ungrateful pieces of shit. What's the pay? You have just been awarded a cabinet position in the most powerful country in the United States. And all you and Scotty want to know is what's the pay? Scotty works at a get-go and you live on Domino's. Deal with it.
See, Amanda says she's definitely against this. That's why Amanda is our Secretary of the Interior. She's going to take care of the animals of this country and look out globally for the animals of the world.
Now, when you were a commoner, when you were one of us, you would normally say,
right,
I have questions. And what I want to do, we've already talked about the guy with the red towel.
Mm-hmm.
What are each of them doing here? We've got 1, 2, 4 other individuals, and how is this an overcrowded event, by the way?
I don't know. Well, I would say this guy in the front here, kneeling down, is preparing his fighter for the next match. The dude on the left with no shirt on is the manager of the black bird with the red head.
Right.
The dude on the right with the white shirt and the jeans on is the manager of the white bird.
He looks like under his shirt, the dude with the white shirt, looks like he has a secret gaff hidden underneath there.
He could, just like he could be Mr. Fuji of the cockfighting world,
right?
And throw in a secret gaff when the referee's not looking. Now the referee is the guy in the blue shirt over there. He's ready to jump in at any second. He's not sitting down. He's up on his feet. In a kneeling type position, he's ready to jump in and count one of them out.
Right. And what is he gnawing on? Like banana leaves? Like what exactly is he eating? He looks like he's having a grand old time. He's probably eating the chicken feed or something.
This is a very intense matchup. This has been building they've been building this for months now. It started at the Cockfight Royal Rumble, and it has come to Cockfight Mania. This is the ultimate matchup. He is ready. He's on the edge of his seat, ready to pounce, ready to declare a winner. And meanwhile, the guy all the way in the back with what looks like a Coca-Cola shirt or whatever it is, is preparing his rooster for the next round. He's making the rooster do sprints to get the heartbeat up and get ready for the next matchup.
Get the heartbeat up. Now, see what I'm looking. I thought he was selling keychains or something. To the tourists.
Well, I don't see any tourists at the moment. All I see is a fierce matchup. That's a rivalry that's been brewing for months, coming to a head in this instance.
If someone could show me a actual gaff, I'd be extremely interested. Extremely interested. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a big surprise. But before I bring him into the studio for you to join us here tonight on a very special 250th episode of Cave Crew Radio, what do you want? You want to give away another T-shirt, or do you want to give away a mask? What should we do here?
I think we've given away a T-shirt. Let's give away a mask.
All right. So we are going to give away a mask. You will see our special guest coming in very shortly.
Ooh,
in honor of this gentleman here, who we're going to bring in just a second.
He's already here.
A few episodes ago, well, actually a long time ago, he showed up in pink hair.
Right.
Can anyone tell us the name of the character that he played with the pink hair. What was the name of the character that he played with the pink hair? If nobody gets it within 30 seconds, he will tell you the answer, and the first person in the chat room is going to get it. Ladies and gentlemen, live from London, England. I don't even know if he knows yet, my president. He has a very special position. He looks like James Bond. He is the commander of the Starship Allotment. He has been away for quite some time. From London, England, ladies and gentlemen, Choo Stu.
Check. Just want to make sure because I haven't done that for a little while. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Mr. President. Sorry, I'm standing up there if you wondered what was happening. And Secretary of the Press, DK. And myself, Secretary of Vice, which I quite like.
You're the vice president.
Oh,
the Secretary of Vice. What the hell's the Secretary of Vice? He's like the Secretary of the Vice Squad in fucking Miami Vice. No, you're the vice president. You're the second in charge, Stu.
Write that down in the book. He is the Secretary of the Vice, the new name of the Vice President of the United States, ladies and gentlemen, the Secretary of the Vice.
I was tuning in on my motorbike, so when I was coming home from work, and I thought I heard that I was Secretary of Vice. You have to excuse my headphones. This one is broken. And I sellotaped it up, and I've obviously sellotaped it wrong, so it sticks out at an angle.
I got to tell you something. Choo Stu, right now, you look, those of you watching on video, on audio, you won't know, but Choo Stu looks like a satanic Teletubby.
Is it cold there, Stu?
Well, I've just got in from work. I slipped this on over my work jacket so that I'm not in uniform, as it were. But it's a bit chilly in here. I've got the heater going in the background, so it's pretty cold. I mean, it's not too bad, but it's cold.
You're wrapped up like it's about to snow.
Yeah, it's a bit chilly.
Now, let me ask you this: how is it being in lockdown number 2?
Well, I mean, personally, it doesn't make that much difference because I'm still going to work, and yeah. But it sucks really that all the shops are closed, and you can't go to the hairdressers. People can't go and get their nails done. I can't go and buy a TV, unless I do it all online. It's just, I think it's a bit ludicrous, really.
Did you get all of your toilet paper?
I did. Well, we're still using the last lot that I got, so I think we'll be all right for a few weeks.
Did you find your cereal bowls that the wife was sending you on chases for over the past?
We didn't, but every time I go in a shop that sells bowls, we both sort of have a feel and look, and then we say, nah, they're not quite the right ones.
How exactly is a cereal bowl supposed to feel and look? Is there a certain weight before you place your frosted flakes, a little bit of milk into the bowl? This sounds like this is a bigger decision than you spent on buying your new car.
Yeah, it's like we're looking for some nice china rather than sort of like these sort of thick clay ones. Not that there's anything wrong with them. It's just that we like, we've had the others and we want the china ones now.
This is a big buying decision.
Wait, you're getting China cereal bowls?
Yeah.
Well, lift your pinky up when you say that. I mean, Jesus Christ. Fucking China cereal bowl. He's going to get $1,000 bowl to put his fucking Fruity Pebbles in.
Right. So here we are, excuse me. I don't know about you, but I wake up in the morning, I grab for whatever I get. I don't care if it's plastic or glass or what it is. I put it down, I pour in my Wheaties and a little bit of milk, and I'm happy. This is like a major life decision. This is typical England, that a certain type of cereal bowl must be presented.
But you will see, when I get them, you will see
It's a fucking cereal bowl.
But look, Big B knows, right? Like he does all this lovely cooking and smoking and grilling.
Yeah.
So
Right.
when you've done that, you want to present it on. There's no point putting it on a hubcap of an old car. You need something nice. You need a nice plate to
All right.
showcase.
All right, so you're comparing that, when and you as a chef understand this. You work for hours on a specific dish, right? When you're smoking something, you're smoking it for 2, 4, 10 hours possibly.
Yeah.
You're working on it and all of that to make the flavor come out, to make it moist and all of this. And you present it once it comes out perfectly. You present it on a nice plate. You're comparing that to grabbing a cardboard box of flaked crunchies with sugar on it, put it in a bowl in the morning for breakfast.
Right. How exactly do you garnish Cheerios?
Exactly. You don't spend hours making cereal. Take it out of the box. You can do it with your eyes closed. You can just hear it and do it.
It's not just for cereal.
I got to stop for a second here before you go, Choo Choo Stew. Scott Morris says, we Brits are picky about our cereal bowls. You're a fucking dude that works at Speedway and lives in Pittsburgh with 14 cats. You don't know your kitchen.
You know those Seattle Brits.
Yeah, and also, it's your desserts that you're putting in there. Maybe some soup or,
Then why do you call it a cereal bowl?
Maybe some jelly deals or something,
But you call it a cereal bowl.
Wait, now let me ask you this. This is going to be a crystal bowl, right? I'm sorry, fine china. Sorry, fine china. So is this going to come out only on special occasions, or is it an everyday thing?
No, it's an everyday thing. Everyday use.
So then it's not special. If it's everyday use, it's not special.
No, but every meal is special.
Even the meal that you eat on the train as people are vomiting, and even the meal that you eat on the train as people are vomiting in car 6 is special.
We do have plastic bowls. When the kids were younger, we used the IKEA plastic bowls.
Yeah.
But now the kids are older, the bowls have gone to the cat. So
those IKEA bowls, did they require assembly?
Oh, I don't think they did. No.
Okay.
But anyway,
we're buying the Queen's finest crystal for everyday cereal bowls, which really aren't being used for cereal because you don't even eat cereal.
Do you carry a diamond encrusted lunchbox to work with you?
No, but I think it's important to have nice plates and bowls to eat off. If you've like I said, if you've gone to all the work and the effort of making something, you might as well put it on something nice.
Now, don't
get me wrong, I do grab a sandwich sometime and just stick it in a bit of kitchen roll. I'm not a snob.
Right. But when you're serving the cereal bowl or whatever nice china it may be, are you allowed to have like a tear of a Bounty, like a paper towel, or do you have to have like engraved napkins with that as well?
A starched napkin or something? No, we don't use the starched napkins or the cloth ones. Yeah, a bit of Bounty roll. We do have serviettes, but but they are paper.
Do you have hankies?
Do we have what?
Do you have hankies?
Hankies?
Yeah,
I've got a couple. I brought some when I went to a funeral last, and they're probably still in my drawer or in my suit jacket.
I've never understood the hanky. I remember my grandfather used to keep them in his shirt pocket.
Yeah, well, that's why I brought hankies to put in my pocket.
But you blow your nose into the hanky.
No, but
and stick it back in your pocket.
And then you put it back in your pocket and then use it again.
Yeah, they're not particularly hygienic, but back in the day, that's what they done, wasn't it?
That's
I never understood that.
And then they would give it to a lady that was in distress and crying. There, use my hanky. That I've been snotting over for
some
the last.
in your tears, lady.
Yeah.
I must say, before we move on with Stu, Scotty is taking his position very seriously. I like this. He's asking if we're going to have a cereal of the nation, and right now I say it's Cocoa Krispies, and we would have issues if it actually comes from China. We will ban all China imports in this country under my administration. Nothing from China.
So that would eradicate Rice Krispies. I mean, anything to do with rice.
We can make rice here. Rice Krispies are it's just a cereal. So we're having Cocoa
you
Krispies.
grow the rice. You need marshes. And
what about Chinese food then?
I'm having food after the show. I don't really give a shit. I'm the secretary.
Right. If the people are already here making the Chinese food, that's perfectly fine. We are not importing Chinese goods anymore, like bowls. Stu, your beloved cereal bowls will no longer be made in China. We will make things here in the United States of America. Under my administration, the United States of America will become an independent cereal bowl nation.
Now, I have a question, though. Now, because we're such an international group of characters on your cabinet, which, I mean, I'd like to give you credit that it's something new, but we all remember Barack Obama. And rumor has it Michelle has a penis. Do we get free? Like, can we cross the border now? Like,
well, this is all part of agreements we have to rework, right? So this is all things that we have to work out as the administration settles in and gets officially sworn in January. We have to work out border crossings with Canada. We have to work it out with England and Sweden and all of that to see maybe we do get paperless border entry. We will find out. We have to work out these deals.
But only for the elite. I mean, we can't just open the borders or you will be flooded.
No, it's just for us.
Okay. Because
it's just for us.
I would be careful you don't shoot yourself in the foot. Because there are some good things that come out of China. There's the Chinese burn.
The what?
The Chinese burn. You know where you grab someone's arm and you twist the skin.
See, we don't call that. We call it an Indian burn.
Yeah, that would be an Indian rub.
Okay, well, we'll have to change what we call it then over here.
Yeah, you don't have Aborigines people over in England. We understand. The Chinese burn.
Yeah, see, we call it Indian burn.
Whenever Stu's around, I write more things than I normally do.
You're
by the way, give the name of your character so we can give away a mask.
Choo Choo Sue.
There you go, folks. The pink-haired lady was named Choo Choo Sue. The first person, other than anyone that's already won a prize, can get a mask from us. The name of the pink-haired lady, I don't have a picture. I apologize. Might have looked something like this.
I'll tell you what, she was a lot more attractive than that.
Yeah.
No disrespect to that lady who is also quite a looker.
Do
you know, just one thing as well, that I was listening on the way home, as I said, from your cabinet, your ministry or whatever, Mr. Cardinelli wasn't featuring.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's correct.
The minister for podcasts.
No,
I think that you should kick him right out of the country. Whatever.
No. Yes, he will be excommunicated out of this country.
Excommunicated was the word I was looking for. Yes.
He will be officially deported to whatever country will have him.
So the first person that says, if you haven't already won a prize, the first person that puts down hashtag Choo Choo Sue is going to get a mask.
Aside from producer Scotty because he already won a shirt.
And
So
I don't
just put it into chat. Hashtag Choo Choo Sue.
I say Choo Choo Sue. That's all you have to do.
That's all you have to do.
Another prize, but people just don't want to win shit tonight. We're good on our promises. Ask Mike Jolitz. Ask Eric Evil. Ask anybody that's ever won a prize from us. We deliver on our prizes. If it comes from Canada, you might not get it till 2027. But
and it will cost you $50 in postage.
We almost have a winner.
Do you think that's close enough? Because
we almost have a winner. Chop Chop Sue is not the answer.
That was Choo Choo Sue's Chinese cousin.
Can you just do it again and say Choo Choo Sue?
She just did. She just did.
Did you do it?
Yeah.
All right. Amanda, send me your address over on Facebook or at cavecrewradio@gmail.com. And I will make sure you might also win a shirt for Chop Chop Sue.
Chop Chop Sue.
Get a surprise.
Yeah, Chop Chop Sue should be the name of this fucking show.
You may get a double prize out of this because I was going to award it for the name of the show.
Chop Chop Sue.
And listen, you and I, Big B and Stu, we work so hard every week to come up with something funny, and she blames it on fucking autocorrect. It ain't Siri. It ain't the president of the United States. It ain't three guys that have been doing 250 shows. It's autocorrect.
Well, Amanda, you are the winner. Does she know what to do now? You have to send an email to.
Yeah, she's friends with me on Facebook. Just send me your address, and it takes forever to get to Canada. I apologize. You'll probably be waiting for the next pandemic to come along. But it's really cool. I have one here.
Right here.
Oh, Big B's got one. Hang on. Let's go full screen to Big B. Come on. Why can't I get Big B on? There we go. All right. Let's put Big B. Yep. There you go. Sure. Cave Crew Radio, limited edition, collectible mask. And she's dying. No, you won't die because now you're going to be protected by our exclusive polyester. And this one has been touched by the president of the United States. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
The official Cave Crew Radio Lockdown 2020 mask.
I've just realized my mask has fallen off the wall, and underneath the wall is my rubbish bin. Underneath where it was hanging, and the rubbish bin has been emptied. And I might need to order a new one.
Or pay attention, you may win a prize. Because we're having it's like pulling fucking nails, giving this shit away tonight, I'll tell you. I said giveaways at least 10 times this week. Anyway, I'm curious, Choo Choo Stu, because I can move on to other stories and shit like that. And we've covered a lot tonight, but you have shared so much with us over the past, now in season 7, you've Big B keeps a book to record everything, but him and I scoured the record books. We checked our memories. We went back into our hard drives. We could not find anything, but apparently you are still keeping a secret about Cousin Ralph, the truck driver who banged women all over Europe. You must tell us the story tonight. We do dearly miss you. Cousin Ralph, the truck driver that banged women all over Europe.
Yeah, Ralph is a big character. He's in his heyday, he was a very big man. He was longish hair, big beard, pretty much like Big B. He's about well, he's still alive, but he's shrunk a bit now. But you know.
What is he, a sponge?
No, but to be honest, he's getting on in years. But he's in his heyday, he was 6'4", very broad man. Built like a typical sort of trucker guy.
So he was 6'4". What is he now? 3'9"?
Yeah. How much?
No, do you know what I mean? Do you know? No, it's
like, did he eat too much salt? What happened to the guy? Like, I want to know.
People shrink. People shrink. You're not going to be that tall when you're 70.
What do you have in England? Reverse Viagra? Like, what's that?
Is this Benjamin Buttons? What's going on here?
Like, is he like Alice through the looking glass, or what's going on over there?
So as a kid, he's actually like my mum's cousin, right? So as a kid, when I used to go around to his mum's house, his mum would say, "Don't go in that room because Ralph's in there." And so no one was allowed in that room because he was in there like eating his dinner, and he would eat like a whole leg of lamb to himself. He's had a healthy appetite, as what I can remember. But so I never really saw him much until I was about 14, 15. And I was on my paper round, right? Or paper route, or whatever you call it, yeah? And I always had a spare paper left, so I'd take it round to my auntie's house. So this one particular day, I was probably about 14 years old, and I've gone round there just to drop a paper round, and Ralph's two sisters were there with their husbands, and I said, "Would you like a little drink?" You know, well, I don't know, maybe. So they got me a beer, and that night when I got home, I was let's say I was very drunk. I'd spent these were all sort of adults in their 40s or something like that, and there's me, a 14-year-old boy, getting pissed. I think that was the start of my downfall.
But how does Uncle Ralph tie into this story?
Well, Ralph was there. But
wait a minute. For
Big
B's records, what were the names of his sisters?
Pauline and Marlene.
Pauline and Marlene.
But the funny thing was, so I used to go around.
Join Siamese twins.
So I used to go around to. Do you know, like, you go around to someone's house and you say, "Would you like a drink?" Say, "Yeah, I'll have a beer." So with Ralph, because he used to get everything duty free, tax free, because he was out of the country 5-6 days a week. So yeah, I say, "Yeah, I'll have a beer," but he would go and get a whole case and just put it next to you on the sofa. and then as the night went on, you say, "Have you a little whiskey and Coke or something like that?" And he would just bring like the whole bottle and just put it on a table next to you. That's yours. And, there's like a 3-litre bottle of Coke or something like that next to it. So he never done things in by halves. But I still speak to him. I spoke to him about 2 days ago. Lovely man.
Tell you stories of old. Some of the stories.
I have to sort of like prize them out of him. He's not particularly, free, because he's never been married, but I think that's basically due to his trucking job that he went all around Europe. So I did sort of try and say, "Oh, so did you? Was there many women there? Like, oh yeah, I fucked women all over Europe," and that was his exact words, actually.
He was like the risk of intercourse.
Well, they say like a sailor has one in every port.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, a truck driver has one in every city, I suppose.
So now is this the cousin you got to bring smokes to, and the one that always wants cigarettes that you tell me about?
Oh no, he's he's dead. That one.
Oh, lung cancer, great.
That was the Finnish guy. No, that was the Finnish guy who used to knock at the door for me to come out and have a cigarette, but he couldn't speak English, so we would sit there on the bench. He would go to the back of his car, and get out like a paper bag, bottle of whiskey in a paper bag. He'd have like a case of beers in there and like a case or carton of cigarettes, and we'd just sit there chatting for about an hour. This is like 8 o'clock in the morning. Drink.
What exactly did you talk about if you two could not understand each other?
Well,
he was probably saying, hubba la 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 to you, and you're nodding and smiling and drinking your whiskey. Well, what did you tell him about? Did you drain your innermost sins because you knew he didn't understand the word you were saying?
I think, yeah, but I most likely did. Now, my wife would come and rescue us, and she'd say, "What are you talking about?" Exactly what you said. I said, "Oh, he's saying, haven't been here for 5 years," or something like that. And I was sort of along the right sort of track. So you don't always need to speak the same language to communicate.
Nod.
Yeah. Nod. You say your.
Wait, what language did Cousin Ralph speak?
Oh no, this is another uncle.
No, this is the one in Finland. The
gotcha. Okay.
The fire chief, isn't it? Or
no, it's the fire chief's father-in-law, Unto.
Unto?
Yeah.
Can you write that down? Unto. So now, other than gathering by his car and opening the trunk and having cigarettes and whatever, did you and Unto ever do anything like go fishing or?
No, he had that. He was an old man, we sauntered together. I never got in his car as he had that sleeping disease, where you just nod off.
Oh, narcolepsy.
Yeah, so it was often like had to be towed out of ditches and stuff. So
if you and what was his name, Big B?
Unto.
If you and Unto were together at a family gathering, even though you could not converse, it was like Elephant Man and Helen Keller. Would you acknowledge each other in a family event? Hey, Unto,
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, we didn't really go to many family events. I think he went to my wedding. When I was over there, I'd go around his house and, have a cup of tea and a beer and whatever.
So when you saw Unto at the wedding, did you acknowledge him? Like, hey, Unto, thanks.
I most likely did. I suppose I greeted everyone there,
Yeah. I'm just wondering how you greeted Unto. If there was a aha or whatever you guys did.
It's hey, like that usually.
Oh, like hey. Yeah. I guess that's international, right? Hey. It's in some cultures it will cause you to dance, and others it cause you to wave. Hey. It's the international national. This is your vice president, ladies and gentlemen, by the way. This is
President of Vice.
President of Vice. My apologies.
Secretary of Vice.
Secretary of Vice. My apologies. I'm screwing up all over the place.
I may be responsible for closing down all the Chinese rub and tugs.
You wouldn't do that to me. That's of all the things you want to close down.
Hello, Mr. DK. You unusual?
I want special. I want happy ending.
You want a two-girl today?
Yeah, I want happy ending.
You take too long. You come now. You take too long. You come now.
Who was it that was that Matt Vanderpool that did the happy ending call? Somebody did the happy ending call for us. I can't remember. 250 shows is too many to remember, folks.
No touchy tits.
Yeah. I was wondering if I could have a happy ending. What is a happy ending? That depends on the person that's waiting for it. All right, what time are we at here? I might have one more story. Speaking, you'll like this. This I think has to do with China.
I'm listening.
Choo-choo stew. Hang on, I gotta find the photo. Actually, I should bring this woman up here. Hang on. This is a very short story, but I thought this was a really good one, and I need Big B to more than listen. I need him to watch. So here's our lovely lady before we gave away the last prize. This is the woman, Big B, who allegedly posed as a prosecutor to get the charges dropped against herself. Here she is.
What?
Nancy Grace Incarnate, ladies and gentlemen. A forensic examiner later noticed and the charges were dropped. A New Hampshire woman allegedly posed as a prosecutor and then falsified records related to drug and stalking charges filed against her. Court documents say Lisa Landon of Littleton used the state's electronic system to drop the charges and submitted fake documents in 3 separate criminal cases last year. This is according to a review by the New Hampshire Union Leader. Landon's plan to avoid jail went awry when a forensic examiner who was supposed to perform a competency evaluation on her noticed the charges were dropped. The examiner later contacted Hillsborough County prosecutors to confirm the evaluation was still necessary. Landon, 33, is also accused of falsifying a judge's decision to waive a filing fee in a lawsuit she filed against the county and faked an order in a child custody case. Well, this woman goes on and on and on. Lisa Langdon of Littlesville, ladies and gentlemen.
But she'll be the first one to be the victim. She will play the victim regardless of whatever charges are against her. She will be the ultimate victim.
And we won't stand for that.
Not under a Big B Choo-Choo Stew administration.
And don't forget about me, your press secretary.
Well, yes, you're the press secretary.
Story.
What the hell is this?
Just one more story. There's an artist who hosts sex doll funerals for Heartstick owners. An entrepreneurial Japanese artist is catering to heartsick kinksters by holding memorial services for sex dolls that have outlived their use. Many love the sex dolls as if they were human members of the family, according to Leia Arata, the 30-something founder of the Love Doll Funeral Service in Osaka.
Mm-hmm.
For roughly $800, customers can have their synthetic sweethearts placed in caskets, swaddled in a burial attire, and adorned with garlands. No one offers an appropriate ceremony better than her. In fact, the funeral, complete with candles, undertaker, and even mourning sex dolls, is so authentic that passersby have called the police after mistaking the dolls for cadavers. Naturally, some may balk at the idea of interring inanimate objects. However, the unconventional visionary started the Love Doll funeral because she felt there was a real need. Many owners do not want them to be shredded as garbage, said Arata, adding that many action figure trustees fear being shamed for discarding the dolls in the dumpster.
Mm-hmm.
That's my last one of the day.
I have questions.
I love to hear them. Sex doll funerals.
What I want to know is how exactly does it outlive its usefulness? And if it does, what was done to it to make it outlive its usefulness?
Well,
it's a piece of plastic.
But it's not going to complain. So
But it's not like it ages. It's a piece of plastic.
It's not.
I don't want to be crude, but I don't know. Fisting comes into mind. I don't know.
Fisting comes into mind. So you're saying the plastic.
I'm just thinking, how could you damage it?
Well, I'm thinking, you keep them around. I'm imagining it's not something you dust and pledge every week. You throw it in the closet, you bring it out, maybe you spray hose the orifice and, clean it out for the next use. But maybe it wears and tears. Maybe it loses its shine. I don't know.
I'd imagine a bit of, a little bit of baby oil or something like that will keep it fresh.
I know that all of us. Well, I know that all of us are loyal to our spouses, and we're all in long-term relationships, well over the 20-year mark. But at some point, you have to admit you may get tired of looking at the same plastic mannequin.
And it's like an iPhone, isn't it? You want the latest version, and with technology, they're getting better and better and more realistic. So if you've got a 2015 model, it's probably seen its day or had its day.
Okay, so do you have a funeral for your old iPhone, and you bury it and have undertakers and all of that?
I definitely wouldn't be having a funeral for a sex doll.
No, but again, I have to give credit to someone who's got an entrepreneurial spirit and says, I don't know where he found found the need for this. Like, she must be part of some dark community. She must have a lot of friends that partake.
Maybe they do like funerals for kiddies dolls or something like that.
Well, let's remember, this is coming from a country that sells used panties in vending machines, so horny fucking Japanese businessmen can pull it out and smell it.
Right.
So I'm sure the sex doll industry is alive and thriving in Japan.
And they can't even hire real people as mourners. They have to have other sex dolls. You wonder, is like what do they call that, Big B, Choo Choo Stew? When you have a bounce back in a relationship, what do they call that? When you
rebound?
A rebound.
Yeah. Do you think sometimes the person burying their sex doll has a rebound to one of the other sex dolls in the room?
And the thing is, right?
Particularly like the one with the top hat.
The thing is, they
both
would try and sell it, wouldn't you? Sell it.
I was looking for a threesome. Have you ever had a sex doll threesome?
Is that two sex dolls or two blokes?
Sex doll. Except for, I don't know, the monk with the sash.
Spit roast.
Spit roast.
Right. So you want the two girls?
Yeah.
I'm now confused. What do you want?
They're dancing in the rain, menage a trois
with a sex doll
in the top hats. Like, how long does it take to pose these girls? Does anybody know? Like, how long does it? Okay, I want this to happen. I want, like, is it difficult to bend the limbs and get everything ready just the way you?
I don't know.
It's like Noah building a fucking ark. It's like it's too much work.
They're like, aren't they like sort of latex?
For not tonight, dear. Like I'd have a headache by the end of getting them ready for the big party. Come on, you had to have had a sex doll at least once in your ventures.
No, I've never.
Not even a blow up doll. One of those ones.
I mean, I've touched one. That's about it. I mean, in the pub or something, but not like. I haven't purchased one for my own pleasure.
Did you go to a strip bar with sex dolls? How did you touch one in a pub?
Why would there be a sex doll in a pub?
Right.
Well, like stag nights or whatever, just blokes having a laugh, isn't it? Someone brings out a sex doll.
And everybody jumps it.
But I'm talking the ones like the blow-up dolls, the typical, with the black curly hair.
Right, the ones with the mouth that's like...
Yeah. Exactly, like just had a stroke or something.
Yeah.
Like it's had a stroke.
Ink. All right. Yeah, we all got quiet over that one.
I had to write that down.
And that's as far as my knowledge goes on
I
such
know
items.
I don't have a lot of stuff. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's get rid of this.
Can I just point out that Stu looks like a DJ that's about to drop some nasty beats on a waiting crowd?
I think he should start a TikTok. I'm telling you. Get that fucking earphone that won't stay down. He's got the earphone that has lupus. I know cereal bowls are really, really important in your family, but maybe a new set of headphones.
Definitely. I think what I done when I put them away last time, I crushed them in the drawer or something, you know.
Oh my goodness!
I will just cut that off. Actually, the other one still works.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are fast approaching that time. Episode 250. We are far from done. We'll come up with some other really special show in a couple of weeks. So Choo Choo Stu shows up. If I tell him it's really important, like the Queen's birthday, he'll rush home.
Well, after next week, I'm off for a couple of weeks. So
there we go.
Oh, there we go.
So we got next week being you to finish the rest of these fucking news stories, and then we'll have Choo Choo Stu back for a few weeks, and I'm sure we have some questions about Uncle Ralph and what's the other guy, Latka?
Unto.
Yeah, good old Unto. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here's a chance. Those of you in the chat room have a chance to enter your drawing. Those of you that have made comments during the show are automatically entered. If we choose something you have said or a name of the show, you will win a t-shirt regardless if you've won another prize. Now, Choo Choo Stu, you were listening on the bike. I'm quite sure you haven't had a lot of time to write anything down, but you've been with us for a while. So I'm going to go to you first because I'm sure your list is short. Do you have a name for episode 250? And keep in mind, this is very epic. We have claimed the presidency of the United States. We have had a lot of laughs and fun along the way. This is not just, I think we should call it this. This is an epic show that deserves an epic name. Choo Choo Stu. Do you want us to come back to you?
Come back to me.
Yeah, because you realize this is actually also, I know we're on video, but we're actually on audio and radio and podcasts. So dead air, usually people go, oh, I lost the signal or something like that. I'll go next, Big B, because I usually don't have any.
Right.
And I have 4.
I have 5, so we have a lot.
This is going to be good. The Chinese burn. I'll just throw that out there because it was very interesting.
Yep.
Chinese burn. The other one that caught me was the Secretary of Vice. I really, really liked the Secretary of Vice. Sex doll with a stroke. Also, really drove home and caught the excitement of the show. But I just can't get by how nonchalantly and by mistake this happened. I have Chop Sue. What are your 5?
Well, I must say I share a number with you. So I'm going to go down in order it appeared tonight. First and foremost on the pre-show, the Robin Hood Goblin.
Oh, yes, I forgot about that.
Then of course, the proclamation, the declaration. I have B and Stu 2020.
You have what? B and Stu?
B and Stu 2020.
These are good ones.
Then now is when I follow along the lines with you. I also had Secretary of Vice. I also had Chop Chop Sue. And I had a little variation of what you said. I had the sex doll had a stroke.
Well, they're all good. I don't think you need anything from me. I was trying to think along the lines of something presidential, but I think your ones are good anyway. All of them.
Well, I got to narrow it down. Well, the Secretary of Vice is definitely very presidential.
It certainly is.
I do like being Stu 2020, though. But we have two of us have said the Secretary of Vice. Two of us have talked about the sex doll with a stroke. And we also had Chop Chop Sue. Hang on, what's in chat here?
Nothing yet. Amanda says yes, but I don't know which one she said yes to.
Yes.
Which one did you say yes to, Amanda?
Chop Chop Stew, probably.
I don't know.
Wasn't it Amanda that said Chop Chop Stew?
It was Amanda that said Chop
Well,
Chop
it was
Stew, but I don't know which one she.
Wait a minute.
As we were going down the list of our names, I don't know which one she said yes to.
If Chop Chop Stew wins this, it isn't even Amanda. It's her fucking autocorrect.
Amanda's computer gets a shirt.
She's going to end up with all these fucking packages at her fucking doorstep because of an autocorrect. I mean, I'm going to start sending more texts in the radio show. That's right. I don't know what's right, Amanda. This is not helping me.
It was Chop Chop Sue, she says. The next comment.
Is
She
it
says
actually
Chop Chop Sue?
Chop Chop Sue. Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Either way,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you a T-shirt for Chop Chop Sue. Stew. Sorry.
Chop Chop Sue.
Yeah. Either way, I am going to give you a T-shirt for that. So you have a T-shirt and a mask heading your way.
As long as we get a photograph of this.
Yeah, we want to see the
of them
shirt
being modeled
and the mask on. Yeah, because we need to advertise this. But at the same time, so I've already deferred. You get the prize. I like it. I am leaning towards the Secretary of Vice. I'm going to leave it to you two.
I think that has a ring to it.
I'm going to leave it to you two.
I honestly like the sex doll had a stroke. I think that's attention getting, but I will agree. Secretary of Vice was quite a moment during the show that was really unexpected.
Look,
so I will agree that Secretary of Vice could.
Here's how we settle this. Amanda, don't say yes, don't say right. What I need you to do now is to either pick between the Secretary of Vice or the sex doll that had a stroke. We're going to give you that because you're very valuable to us tonight. Oh, that's why my camera freaking fell. I wonder why I'm like in this obscure. No one even says anything.
I was liking the other angle and seeing all the Labatt's blue that was drunk.
Yeah. Oh, there's tons of it tonight. Amanda, we're relying on you. And I don't have all night because I got Chinese food waiting. Secretary of Vice or the sex doll that had a stroke. Amanda, you've already won a prize. No one's going to be mad at you. They're both good titles. Bum, 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 bum. She is going to say Secretary of Vice. There you go, ladies.
Yeah.
A good choice. They're both good choices. Secretary of Vice is the name of the show. We've got prizes going out to Scotty. We got a double prize going out to Amanda. Stay tuned. We might give away more prizes at a later date. All right, boys. That's all I got. 250 shows. We're still going.
Be prepared for the B and Stu administration here in the next 4 years.
Can't wait. We got 4 years. So that means we got to continue the show for another 4 years.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Let's take her away. Episode 250 is in the books. I guess I should get that up there. Put it full screen. You gonna say goodbye, Stu? You're back in what, 2 weeks?
Yeah, I'll probably skip next week. But 2 weeks after I'm around.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening. We love you all, and we will be back next week with another episode of Cave Crew Radio Season 7. It's the Secretary of Ice, and we're out of here.
Thank you very much for listening to the show. Now stay safe, take care, and wash your hands. You are listening to Cave Crew Radio, available on demand and live at cavecrewradio.com.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!